Hello everyone, it is me, Pui, and I'm in this terribly lit room to tell you about GOAT format. Not just GOAT format, but GOAT control. For most of you, you may not be following GOAT format so closely. You may not know that GOAT format barely has any GOAT control in it anymore. Most of the time, decks that are favored include Chaos Turbo, Warrior, Chaos Control, similar to GOAT Control, but has some very distinct differences and sometimes resembles Chaos Turbo a lot more. However, in recent tournaments, we've been seeing a little resurgence of GOAT Control, pinches here and there of people finding success. We've got my teammate Jace in a WCQ last year. This season, we just had Joey Neutral Grounds win a WCQ as well. Clearly, GOAT Control might still have a chance in this meta, and people are still experimenting with fun and interesting ways to go about it. Both of their builds certainly looked quite different, and I'm going to throw my hat in the ring today with Horus GOAT Control. That's right, we're talking Horus GOAT Control. That's level 4, level 6, level 8, blocking spells, unaffected by spells. Figured it might be a super powerful tribute summon over the Air Knight, or the Chaos Command Magician, or the Zaborg. Just destroy a monster, block all spells. We also are playing Royal Decree, just like many of these GOAT controls are, meaning if we get them both, that's no spells or traps, which is super duper strong. I was just messing around with it, had a good time, kept on winning, and I figured I'd share it with you. But first, let's talk about subscribers, huh? We hit 150 since the last video, so thank you so much for supporting the channel. I really, really appreciate it. For all you new folks, especially the folks who saw me on Dueling Book, hello, how do you do? My name is Pui. I run Pui's Card Academy. We talk about retro formats. We'll be talking about Magic eventually, possibly current, and we're going to be doing video essays. So if you're interested in any of that, you should definitely hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to go for 200 by the end of June, so let's see if we can make it. And without further ado, let's get to the deck. So here we have our GOAT control. We're seeing, of course, a lot of the usual suspects. We have Scapegoat as the main centerpiece of our defensive deck and our offensive plays, including Metamorphosis for Thousand Eyes Restrict, as well as Creature Swap, that we can swap our goats for their real monsters. We've got 2-Book and Tsukiyomi as utility, both with our flip monsters for advantage, and 2 shell-off monsters with our Thousand Eyes Restrict, so that we can continue to attack, continue to change position, and of course flip summon it back and suck in more monsters. We've got our Noblemans, we've got our standard Trinity, our standard Heavy Storm, we've got Breaker, we've got Virus, Sinister Serpent, Sandgan, Snatch Steal, and of course BLS. So most of that is there, most of that is purely GOAT control. I'd say one of the first standout pieces of this deck is of course the 3 Royal Decrees. 3 Royal Decree is an option that many GOAT control decks and other control decks have been going for recently in light of a large quantity of trap heavy decks. Certainly Chaos Turbo, Warrior, both are trap heavy. Panda Burn, of course, is trying to win with burn traps. Decree on its own is not the most effective tool against Panda Burn, however it does certainly help, and you won't be losing while the Decree is up most of the time. So this is a Decree deck. It's going that route because it lets us make our plays and keep an advantage without being disrupted too much. It can be a major plus. Sometimes it just gets destroyed and we can keep playing through it. We also have other spell and trap removal, so it's not the biggest deal, but if we get one up, it'll usually be a huge advantage. However, this isn't just GOAT control. Again, this is Horus GOAT control. So let's take a look at Horus real quick. Horus is one of the monsters in the LV series, the level series. Its particular level up effect triggers when you destroy a monster by battle. So level 4 on end phase after you destroy a monster becomes level 6, and then level 6 can become level 8, which can only be summoned with the effect of level 6. So you can special summon level 6, but you can't special summon level 8. And here is why. During either player's turn, when a spell card is activated, you negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. That is not a once per turn. This card can negate every spell your opponent plays. It is basically a super Balter. It's even better than Balter. It has no life point cost. It has no restriction on what spell type has to be played, and it doesn't stop the spells being played outright. This is a huge piece for this deck. A big goal of our deck is to try to get it on the field, but we can also do plenty without it. Of course, its little brother, level 6, is certainly packing its own good ability. It is unaffected by spell effects. That means no Book of Moon, no Snatch Steal, nothing that can destroy it. It also stays at attack with level limit area B, etc., etc., unaffected by spell cards. 2,300 attack means it crashes with a Chaos Sorcerer, beats over most monsters, and once we destroy something with it, it can turn into level 8. We can of course choose not to turn it into level 8, which is also a huge strength. We can tribute summon for this monster, we can special summon it with a revival such as Premature Burial, we can special summon it with the effect of King Dragoon, or we can summon it off of level 4, which is a 1600 attack monster that can't have its control changed and becomes level 6 at the end phase. So this is the Horus line, and it goes along with 2 Fusilier Dragon and 3 Metamorphosis for King Dragoon. So King Dragoon can be summoned off of Metamorphosis, and what it does is makes your dragons untargetable by card effects, including itself, and once per turn you can special summon 1 dragon from your hand, which can be either of these 2 Horuses. Super duper powerful on its own, super duper powerful with the other Horus. If you get Horus level 8 and King Dragon on the field, that's going to be a pair of non-targeting dragons that are large enough to beat over a Chaos Sorcerer or a BLS, and also no spell cards can be played. If you get Royal Decree, the game is good as over. There's very few things that can beat that. It's basically just DD Warrior Lady and Tribe Infecting Virus. Maybe a couple I'm forgetting, but those are the ones that most people will have. It's very hard to beat that, and it's very easy to put up that lock with most of these cards. So a pretty common play you could do is Fusilier, meta, go King Dragon, activate effect, summon Horus, destroy a monster, summon Horus level 8, and that can all be done as early as turn 1 if you are on the draw. So beyond that, to go with this Fusilier Dragon, which will be in 1400 attack if we normal summon it, we also have Tsukiyomi and Book of Moon, along with our 3 Metamorphosis. If Suk or Book flips it face down once it's been normal summoned, that effect will then be negated, and it will go back to its original attack. So a common thing you could do, for example, is if a Blade Knight is attacking your Fusilier, you can use Book of Moon, then it goes into defense, it has 2000 defense, it clinks with the Blade Knight, and then you can switch it to attack and start attacking. It, of course, can be Premature Burial. You can also use Burial on Horus, not level 8, but level 6. You can use it on Summon BLS, of course. You can use it on Tribe. So it's quite powerful and has a good place in this deck because we have a surprising amount of large monsters. Also worth noting that with Horus, Premature being destroyed won't destroy it, which is pretty cool. Moving on, we also are playing 2 Tsukiyomi in this deck. 2 Suk is something that isn't very common in most builds, but I figured this is so focused on the flipping because we have the flip monsters as well as the Fusilier Dragon, as well as the 3 Metamorphoses for 3000 Ice Restrict, that it felt worth running 2. Also, we're in a pretty warrior-heavy meta on top of Turbo and Control, and this card will beat over most warriors in that deck, as well as Monarchs, which are now becoming slightly more common, especially Mobius and Zaborg. Suk has felt fine at 2. If you want to go down to 1, that's at your discretion, as well as Fusilier Dragon. If you want to go down to 1, or if you want to cut Horus level 4, you don't need him. But these cards have all been perfectly effective for me, and I figure it's worth trying them out. I want to talk about a real all-star right now, though, is Creature Swap. Creature Swap has been so powerful, because while Chaos Control is in the meta right now, there's actually a very low amount of Chaos Control, and this card against the other biggest decks in the format really mess it up. You can steal crucial flips against Chaos Turbo, you can steal warriors against Warrior, and you can force a Pandaburn player to take back their own Ojama tokens in exchange for a bigger monster. So you don't even need to provide your own monster when using this card against Pandaburn, they'll give you one for you. What I found this card does is it forces your opponent to use stronger cards to answer whatever you took, or take their strongest answer, while you're still using what I wouldn't actually consider one of your power cards. I think this card is pretty slept on right now, and I've been enjoying playing 2 immensely. Moving on to the side, we are playing 2 Cyberstein. The Cyberstein can summon anything meta can and a couple other targets. So of course we can use Cyberstein to speed out King Dragon and then speed out Horus Black level 6. So that's an option. We can also go Last Warrior from Another Planet, both with Stein and with Fusilier and meta. We could also have other options like Master of Oz, Dark Balter the Terrible, Gatling Dragon. It's mostly something I put in against combo decks besides Reasoning Gate. You can bring it in against Reasoning Gate, but it's not the most necessary. But that was mostly there for stuff like Empty Jar, Library, and such. And you can also just surprise your opponent with it. If they are also on a Decree deck, it might be useful. Next up, we have Jinzo. Jinzo is like another way to negate traps. It's good against Pandaburn. It's good against Warrior. I usually, against Warrior, will cut 1 Horus for this. Against Turbo, we have Kaiku, we have Mind Control, and we have Trap Dust Shoot. This all just makes the Chaos Turbo matchup a little easier for you. We can certainly handle it game 1, but these all can come in against some of the more gimmicky cards game 2 and make better work of Turbo. For example, Book of Moon isn't the best, and Extra Souk isn't the best because flipping down their monsters is usually good for them. It becomes a little difficult to set up stuff like Fusilier or Horus because they have Phoenix Wing Wind Blast and might be more prepared to destroy Royal Decree in game 2. So I just added extra tools to disrupt Turbo without really disrupting our own plan too much. Next up we have one copy of My Body as a Shield. This is again for Warrior or any other deck that seems inclined to continually destroy our cards. This is also an easy answer to Tribe Infecting Virus if you want to go harder into the King Dragon plus level 8 play. We have 2 Mystic Walk just to improve the burn matchup. We are playing Decree in the main, we are playing Jinzo, we are playing Torrential Tribute, and we are playing Trap Dust Shoot. All of these cards help, but I figure with such big monsters at our disposal, Meme Walk was definitely the way to go to gain some extra life. And lastly, we are playing the Trap Trinity of Mirror, Ring, and Torrential. 2 of these are mass removal, one of them is removal with extra damage. I usually bring these in against Reasoning Gate or other similar all-in attack decks. You can also bring in 1 or 2 against Warrior when you remove the Nobleman. I've been enjoying this deck immensely. I think it's very versatile and has a lot of potential for powerful plays. You can do Go Control stuff, which is what the format is named after, and you can also roll your opponent over with these giant dragon block boards. Don't take my word for it though. Check out the games yourself. Alrighty people, it is Horus Goat Control time. We are playing against Nico's My World. Gonna go rock. He's gonna go scissors. Very indicative of my dueling prowess. Let's see what we got here. Okay, this is great. It's not the nuts, but it's a very versatile hand. I think to open, we're just gonna go set Sangan, set Decree. Doesn't ask too much of the opponent. We can probably go for a Serpent here. Later on, we'll have set Faith to go with any of these lovely spells. So I think we're just trying to... Okay, that's unfortunate. For sure. But not the end of the world. Let's see what else he has. Okay. So MST was just used. So I think we basically can just set Goat's Pass. Make him do something. Still beats me what exactly this is. Okay, that's interesting. So we got a Gravekeeper's Guard from the opponent. That's, of course, is going to bounce with Sangan. Honestly, I'm going to take this right now. Not really demanding too much. I don't see a Book of Moon. We can go for a Sangan Crash. If that doesn't work, we can go Scapegoat into meta, but we want to... If they have any Book of Moon shenanigans with this guard, we want to actually eat that up now. Okay. This is interesting, actually, getting Fusilier here. So, we could just go King Dragoon, or we could go Sangan and try to eat the guard play. I think I want this meta later. So that's a thing we can potentially do, but we also can potentially still do Terra. Let's just try to get the Crash here. Also, if we get the Crash now, we can go for Tsukiyomi, which works well with both Faith and Fusilier. Okay, so that's going to work. And since we have Faith and Goats, I don't really need Serp so bad, so we're going to go for Souk. Slowly but surely, we are at an advantage. Okay, Rite of Spirit on guard is good for us, because that is definitely not the best Gravekeeper they could have gotten with Rite of Spirit. I don't know what kind of Gravekeepers this is. I mean, it could be Gravekeeper Warrior, it could be normal Gravekeeper, could be some sort of control deck. It's playing Rite of Spirit, so it's definitely like a committed Gravekeeper deck. I think I am going to go this time. There's a difference between going down to 7,000 and going down to 6,000. Okay. Let's open up with Duo. You can tell from a Duo a lot of the time what the sets might be, because you can try to figure out what they were going to do next turn, given you didn't Duo them. Okay, so very interesting. We see a Compulse here. Probably trying to protect something in his hand, but it's really nice to not have to deal with guard anymore this turn. We got the guard. We got Necro Valley. Okay. So here, we could set Faith, go for a second duo. We could also go for Dragoon. We could summon Fusilier with the intent to Sook it later. Personally here, knowing that Necro Valley's gone and that we have Mystical Space for a second Necro Valley, I feel pretty safe going for Set Faith. Okay, so there's the Valley. That seemed like it was drawn off the top, which is kind of annoying. Okay, so opponent either has Rite of Spirit or no monsters or something. That is very interesting. I think in this position I'm going to go MST on the Valley. And then I'm going to flip Summon Faith and MST again. Okay, and we will hit the center. Okay. Is he using that Solemn? No, he is not. Alright, this seems like it's pretty straightforward. We're going to use Sook. And he's gone. Alrighty, let's move on. And we're back. We've got a game against Stevie. Going for Rock again. Oof. Very sad. Back with the Horus Goat control. Half Horus lock beat down, half Goat control, all party. This hand kind of sucks, but of all the things it's good against, Blade Knight's definitely one of them. I mean, we could summon Sook, hit over it. We could try to snatch it and Sook to steal it. I think this early in the game, we want to just go for a Sook. Kind of sucks we drew level 8. That's a completely dead card. And, okay, there's Book. Let's see if... yeah, we don't want to do anything. That might have been a little telegraphed. It might have been possible that we wanted to go for Steal there. But we'll just set Book, so you don't get hit with Donald. Storming a single set. Okay, that's Dawn Syndrome right there. We're going to see Rhoda for Dawn here. I near guarantee it. Double Blade Knight, also possible, I suppose. Must have a monster field. Okay. Well, if you're going to be like that, we could just steal this Blade Knight and make it bigger than his. And he just used Storm, so he can't use it again. And if he gets Faith, we have Blade for Faith, so that was kind of bad, to say the least. Yeah. This seems like a decent position. If we know his hand is all warriors and we have the biggest warrior, then we'll probably get there eventually. If he tries to set something, all of a sudden we have Typhoon. We know that he will only have one set. Okay, so there is Exiled for his own Blade Knight. And there's a set. We'll just MST that. Alright, he is in a position to attack us, and we are not in a position to do the same. Merchant helps a lot. I am honestly inclined to hold Merchant for Tear if he summons something else. So, yeah, we're going to do that. Doesn't feel good that we had a Dust Shoot off the MST, but, like, we know that was his only set. He just tried to get it out of us. Alright, glad we held there, because stealing this lady is going to be pretty nice. We could even actually swap for Lady here, because DD Warrior Lady as a threat is really strong compared to Tear. Now, whether or not we get another level 1 is its own question, but I like the idea of being able to banish potentially a Dark later, and now we have to Kree. So, we're going to swap here, I think. And that makes another bad trade for him in the future. Puts us ahead. Got to Kree for any future sets. This is a good time. Alright, that was probably a chaos check right there, if I had to guess. Oh, just in time we draw Nobleman. Saves us our lady. Yeah, okay. I guess that wasn't the most necessary, but it's kind of hard to put Noblemans to work in this matchup anyway. And I really didn't want to have to self-banish to prevent a chaos there. So maybe he does have chaos, and maybe he doesn't. But Right now, he's got no darks. Okay, here's Rhoda. So off the Rhoda, all he can do is, I guess, get something to crash. Doesn't have to be much bigger than Lady, just something. But this is a forced 1-for-1. Okay, so he's going Dawn here. I'm confused. Does he think that I'm going to let him have his Dawn? Because I'm not. Here, I'm going to attack and... Is it the Dawn? Yeah, we're going to banish. You can't have that Dawn, bud. Interesting game. I don't think he can hit us too hard without a Chaos Monster. We have tried for anything he hits us with. Okay, that is kind of awkward. It's the only thing Tribe can't clearly answer. And there's a Nobleman. So that feels kind of bad, too. But I guess all we can do is summon Tribe and crash. That's obviously really awkward to draw multiple Noblemans during the Warrior matchup. Think, if anything, that early Sook was a bit of a problem. But there's Horus. Horus is pretty cool. I guess... I'm not sure why he wouldn't be attacking there. Unless his hand is multiple Chaos Monsters. But we're just going to go in with this Horus. That's all we really can do. It'd be super great if we can actually get this Horus to activate. But in all likelihood, it's going to get killed by something. We're just looking for a level 1 now for Terror. That'll probably close things up. Okay, another swap is not great. So here's an important thing to know about Horus. And also, yeah, both Horuses, level 4 and level 6, neither of them can be creature swapped. So you might think, like I did briefly, that you can't get its position changed. Means that if you have an effect that changes its position, you just get to keep it. But it actually means you can't select it in the first place. So you can't do something like use creature swap with a Snap Steal while you have Horus or Horus level 6 or Bataza. It's just, you can't use the cards. This is useless right now until we find something else. Be super, super great if we could find a Sinister Serpent here. I would even take another Merchant, obviously, but a Sinister Serpent would be fantastic because it turns on all of our cards at once. Is it? He put the counter on it as if it... You have 2 cards. Oh boy. Oh boy. We got the special summons out here today. I think he could have set either of those. Yeah, and we're just going to go for BLS and try to kill him. Easy. So against Warrior, Horus isn't as good as Jinzo, so I bring in my Jinzo for Horus. And obviously, Nobleman's not great, so I bring in my body as shields for Nobleman. You could go Ring instead of Nobleman in some matchups if you think they're doing like Faith Warrior. You can do Mind Control over Nobleman, but here we'll go Ring. And we'll just hope it goes that well. I don't know what the heck happened there with Steve Eam at the end. He just, I guess, thought that he had only 1 card in hand. We drew the Horus again, which is super awkward. This hand really, really sucks. This is why low monster counts are good sometimes. Alright, important public service announcement. People who roll dice for duo, stop it. Please stop it. Like, especially if we have a 5-card hand and you keep rolling 6, just click a card. It's still random, actually, because you don't know what the cards are, so you're not picking with any knowledge. Oh. Well, then, that's 4 flip monsters in the face of a Mystic Swordsman and a tribute we'll never able to summon. So I guess we just sit here and get our face beaten in for a bit. Really unfortunate we lost the breaker here. That was some really good luck on his part. Speaking of luck, there's Pot of Greed. And there's Rhoda for Dawn. I think that if Dawn hits Jinzo, we're to just scoop to save information. Because this just feels absolutely unwinnable. He's going to roll die and land on 5 and 6 4 times again. Or he's going to hit exactly a Jinzo and we're going to go to game 3. So boy, was that a really awkward hand. We are playing a lot of set monsters for, you know, a normal summon Mystic level 2. But we're just going to run it back. That probably won't happen again. See, that's a lot better. We can do a lot of stuff with this. So obviously we'll open Duo. Now, assuming he doesn't really set too much, or his traps aren't so good, or we discard them, like we just hit that ring, I can see an easy Horus level 8 here. Interesting. Okay, so if you're discarding Sakuretsu after ring, that means you have other rattle traps. We're going to hold off on that. But as long as the Scapegoats resolves and we have 2 goats, we should be able to go pretty far with this. Alright, there's Monkey. I don't know what about our deck said play Berserk Gorilla, but I guess he's playing Berserk Gorilla now. So that's actually a pretty big tear for us, or a pretty big swap. Interesting. Okay. So, I guess now we can summon Horus. We can go for Horus level 8. We could actually go for Jinzo afterwards. Like, next turn. That's hilarious. That's only outed by, like, DD Warrior Lady. Oh, I really want to. Oh, I super duper want to. We can go swap attack. We can go swap Horus attack. Yeah, that seems easiest. Swap Horus attack, and then that'll give us 23 damage because we'll put it in attack position. We get the level 8. The next turn, we can go meta Jinzo. They can't use spells to stop us. So it just depends on if they have a monster. So we'll summon Horus. And then end of turn, we'll go get level 8. And this will freely negate all their spells, which is gonna be rough. Because I'm not sure how they're gonna Rota for E-Force when they can't Rota. So they just have to basically have Lady or E-Force in hand. And that is not that. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go meta. We're gonna go tear. We're gonna steal. And we're gonna summon Jinzo. Banisher of Light, that's spicy. But we've assembled the literal answer. And that's 54 damage. Book of Moon backup. You can't use spells or traps. You don't have lights and darks. Good luck. And that's game. That is the absolute joy of Horus Goat Control. You're half Goat Control, and you're half whatever the hell this is. And it's fantastic. Damn, Daniel. Back at it again with the Horus Goat Control. We'd pick rock again. And again. I'm too good at rock, paper, scissors. Welcome to the rock meta, boys and girls and everyone in between. Welcome to Horus Goat Control. I'm your host, Pui, from the Pui Show. And we are gonna set Dark Mimic and pass. It's arguable I should be saving, I should be doing Sangan first here. But I kind of want to save it for swap play. And we just get a free draw here. Boop. MST is a pretty good one. I'm guessing there's one set going behind this. Yeah, which is fine by me. So now we actually, because we have the Sangan and we have the breaker for later, we can go MST that, Sangan, take your Kaiku. There you go. And what are we going to get here? So I don't know. This looks like Warriors. I think Serpent for another swap just seems like the move, and also for future tears. It's arguable we should have gotten a Faith so that we can, or a Merchant so we could do BLS, but this is a pretty strong footing, and I think the name of the game is just Swap-a-Swap-a-roo. Maybe throw a breaker in there at the same time. Okay, there's Steel. I'm glad we didn't get Faith anymore. We can, of course, pop that with breaker, but we are going to take some damage, and we're going to lose our Sangan in our box here. This man is taking so long. He better have the greatest play I've seen of all time. That, or he's picking up a pizza, or he got a phone call, or the SWAT team raided his house, or he's wrestling with snakes because snakes got into his house, or the SWAT team sent snakes into his house, and then he got a phone call from the SWAT team saying, "This is the SWAT team. We've sent snakes into your house." And he went, "Oh shit, they sent snakes into my house. I gotta fight the snakes." Or he could just have disconnected. Cool. Cool. Very cool. And he's back. Hit me with my kaiku that is yours again. Here's a question, right? Okay. Who really owns this kaiku now? Like, metaphysically speaking, right? So I stole it from him, but he stole it from me after I stole it from him, you know? So, like, whose is it really? Alright, we're gonna go Blight Breaker and just, pop the Snatch. Seems like the easiest play. If he books this in response, then we can just hit over it. We'll just attack in. There's no Mirror Force. That worked. No monsters in grave, I believe. Hey, JDZ. JDZ, good friend, good channel. Go subscribe to his channel. I'll leave a link in the description. Really good content. Really helped me get my start. So if you're watching this, JDZ, hello. Good to see you. Welcome to the channel. There's Tribe. Okay, that's kind of annoying. But it's not that annoying. Another note, please discard for cost before activating Tribe Infecting Virus. Whoa. Okay, not Warrior. Chaos Turbo with a weird draw. I think we're fine with Tribe here. Like, similarly to everything else. Like, that was a very big thing to have to do very early into the game, and we're going to swap for this Tribe and just take it. And you're not going to be happy. But we're not going to do that before... We're just going to set this. I think that this might be a Solemn. So, I would like to have to Kree up first. And he's really not putting enough pressure on me that I can just take another hit here. Now we'll flip Royal Decree. We'll see what he does. Yep, he's thinking on the Solemn. Oh, it's Wing Blast. Okay. Very interesting. Very, very, very glad we didn't do the play of Snake Swap because we would lose the creature swap in the process, and that would have been a little awkward. If you're using Wing Blast there, that really, really reduces the likelihood that you have a knock. Question is this swap or one of these knock? Also, he must have drawn the Serpent because before he used Spy to kill the casters. I think it's not a big deal if he Solemn Swap here. If he has another Wing Blast, then he's like using his last resource, and then it's just a matter of time before we answer the virus. But yep, that worked. Fantastic. And let's just attack. Boom. And now we're the one with the virus and the snake. So obviously, right, Turbo on a good draw can be really, really rough against us, since this does seem to be Turbo. But, like, right now, he's expending a lot of really valuable resources to do some very basic stuff, and we are expending very basic resources to get rid of a lot of valuable stuff. So already he has a Wing Blast, Snatch Steal, Mirror Force, and Virus gone. So those are all some game-winning cards that we've already dealt with. He's summoning... Okay, he's going Serp Torrential. He seems to have forgotten that we have this decree. He saw it. He saw the decree. He saw me play it. He saw me put it back, and he saw me draw it, and he saw me set it again. Oh, Lord. Okay, we're going to game 2. Cool. So against Turbo, obviously we've got the classics. We've got our Dust Shoots, we've got our Mind Controls, and we got a Kaiku. We're on the draw, so we're going to play one Dust Shoot. I'm going to cut Book, Sook, Fusler, Goats, I think. We could also cut the Horus package, but it's pretty good against them when they're trying to reuse busted spell cards. So this looks alright to me. This hand's great. Same kind of thing. We can do a lot with this. Okay, Thunder Dragon. See, I think the great thing about having a YouTube channel is that I can now complain about all the weird habits people have that I think are bad, and y'all will listen to me because I've got people who watch me and say I'm good or whatever. Why are you ever doing anything besides just discarding the Thunder Dragon and then adding the 2? I've seen, like, declare in hand. I've seen special summon it. I've seen put it in a spell trap zone. What do you think we're going to do? Ash Blossom it? It can't be responded to in goats. In the very rare chance that it can be responded to, you still just discard it. And then you can check for a response. Here, I mean, we're going to set Royal Decree to start. The question is, what do we think that is? It could be Spy. If it is Spy, we don't really want them to have it. This doesn't feel great, but I think we're going to go Tear here. At the very worst, next turn, if he doesn't do anything meaningful, we'll have Decree up and we can go Horus. Oh, he's lulling me? What have I done? Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh no. If he didn't set on purpose before, I'm honestly really impressed by that play. We're just going to go Decree here. Get back Serpent. Getting back Serpent's really hard. It's not easy to remember, if I'm being perfectly honest. I'm going to set Faith here. I don't really care if Faith gets knocked, because if all of his Faiths are gone, that's probably a good position for us, because we have the Tear. And we have other ways to get card advantage, and we have other ways to close out the game. I just want him to set something at this point. If this Faith does resolve, we get meta back, and that will help answer a Chaos Monster, or we can get swap back, etc., etc. I think getting meta back with this Serpent's pretty big. Also, because Decree is up, it's less likely he can, like, break or Wing Blast this. He's having that thinking moment. Okay. So clearly that worked. Now that we have 2 Horuses, I feel comfortable just tribute summoning. He does get to activate effect, but again, we do have Faith now, so we get to meta. But whatever he's playing, it's very likely we'll be able to get a Terror swap. Okay, he's playing Lady. That's interesting. So I don't know what to make of that. Alright, it is arguable that we were supposed to do the meta play and then get the extra 300 damage in. If we lose by 300 life points, that's on me. But we are going to flip this now for meta. And it's up to you. I guess our opponent is reading Horus. This card is so sweet. Like, I love this thing. I think this is one of the first cards I got as a kid. Okay. That's why he was reading it. He was trying to see what it was unaffected by. Okay. Cost, please. Thank you. There goes Horus. Kinda sucky. Really not the end of the world. BLS sucks here. BLS is not lethal, but it would be annoying. And there's BLS. I should never talk. Every time I talk about a card, I am just willing that card into existence. This is going to hurt, but we have swap and we have meta, so it's fine. It's only not fine. Nope. It's fine. It's fine. Fine. So I'll say it. If he had ring, that'd be annoying. But this is fine. Yeah, this is not a big deal, because we can just go for Tear again. And he has no darks, so there's no Chaos Monster coming. Here's Tribe, so he can't use Tribe. Snatch hurts. Book hurts a little bit. We're going to set Storm, so he thinks we're not defenseless. Yeah. And then if we need to, we could, of course, flip the Storm. That'll also let us reset our Terror for another suck. Just depends on what we need. If we can get literally to one more turn and we can set Snake or set Mimic, I think we're a lot safer. Just this turn is a little vulnerable. Okay. So he's not slamming a card that kills us. Feels good. Feels bad that he's doing what he's doing. That was probably the best case scenario. We don't really need that Horus anymore. I think we need swap for a new threat more than Mimic because we have the Serpent if we need it. Right. And there is the rando set. Okay, well, I think we win now. That's a good one. Oh, no, I can't because of the Blackluster equipped. I was thinking I can Heavy Storm in case it's book, but I can't. I think that's just game. Let's see what this set is. Could be goats. That'd be a little surprising if I'm being honest, but I'm just going to attack here. Oh, I can't count. He's got 3,300 life points. That's what it is. Alright, and we are going to set Serpent. Wow, this guy's saying go to me? Alright, buddy. Alright, buddy. Yes, I'm the one who's playing slowly. Okay, there's his own storm. That kind of sucks. Still has no Dark Engrave, so I don't know what the plan is. Go. Who's not going now? The irony is very rich. I think he's realizing that didn't particularly improve his situation. His hand still probably is 2 Thunder Dragons. Okay, 1 Thunder Dragon. So 1 Thunder Dragon and 3 things that don't immediately answer Tear from the get-go. That or he's lagging. Oh, he's gone again. Alright, on second thought, I think he quit. Like, last time he lagged out, I think he just realized he has no moves in his left. So we're going to call this a win. That's the deck against Turbo. It's pretty good. Decree's a good card still. Decree Chaos Control's pretty good. Swap is really, really good against Turbo, if you know when to use it. Or you can just be a dingus like me and take a Sangan at the start of the game with a Tear. One final, last hurrah for Horus. Go Control. This is hopefully this won't be as much as Slogfest as the last one. We're going Rock again. You already know it. Hell yeah. This guy's a 733. Probably the highest rated person I've played on Dueling Book so far this season. I haven't played like a lot of Dueling Book this season compared to just, you know, unrated. So I'm only at 403 right now. Other seasons I've been a lot higher, but I've really basically just been playing this deck when I feel like it. Let's go Charity here. And, woo, okay. We are going to, I think, load up the graveyard. Sounds about right. We'll send a Merchant. And, honestly, we'll send Mimic here. And then we'll set Merchant. It'd be really great if we can, get Faith on the Graceful right now. But so far, our hand has answers to basically everything besides, Big Explosion. And it looks like we're going to have another Chaos deck again. Hopefully it's Chaos Control since we already seen a Turbo. But, beating up on Turbo kind of never gets old. Just how loudly people assert this is the best deck. And, okay, take it back. It's Noel Gate. That's exciting. Shout out to Noel. But also, why did you make this deck? I'm about to die. Here, I think we have to go 4. Because we need to really just try to make them miss as much as possible. Okay, this is a 50-card deck, thing number 1. Thing number 2, Thunder Dragon and 2 Fusilier Dragons. What? Oh my god. I mean, I hate it, but I love it, You love to hate it, you hate to love it. Okay, there's King Dragoon. If he goes Horus here, that's super ironic, and also we lose. What? No. Yes, okay. Does he banish? He attacks. Alright, and we're dead. That was super sweet. Can't lie. Love to see it. Big respect for whatever the heck this is. 50-card Horus Gate, I guess. We do have answers, though. So we'll go Trap, Dust Shoot, and then our whole trap lineup, and then we'll go probably Cyberstein. And then we'll take out our Decrees and our Nox for 5, and there's 2 more monsters. We can cut probably a Sook and a Merch. Because this card doesn't exactly keep us from dying. And so, I mean, usually he would, like, see the Decree first game, and then we'd switch into the traps. But so the idea of having all the traps is just some decks are really aggressive and don't really have as many traps. And these cards are just objectively good. You can also pepper them in versus certain matchups. Like, it's useful to have a Torrential versus Burn, and you don't need the other 2 as bad. Right, duo helps a ton here. And having Faith for a second duo also helps a ton. You can probably just shred his whole hand. Tribe Infecting Virus helps a ton. It's also Bazoo? It's also Bazoo! I'm so confused. Please, someone help my little bimbo brain. I don't understand what this deck is. Maybe that's the point? 733 and he's playing Wanghu. We're gonna kill the Wanghu. We're gonna kill the Wanghu because it lets us recur Faith with Sook. Does he get a book? No. Okay. Does he get a knock? No. Okay. Well, in that case, we're just going to go duo again. Feels good. Feels good to feel good. We already have the Light in the Dark for BLS. We have Tribe. We have Goats for... I don't see us losing this. This is a really, really good position. So we'll do that. And hit. And then Sook goes back to hand so we can even set Goats and not really worry about a Goat lock too much. Because honestly, if they destroy this without killing Faith, I'm just going to keep it anyway. And he has to play now, right? So 8's the only thing I'm scared of here. If he does Fusilier, we'll just kill it. Thunder Dragon. So this isn't Noel Gate, right? But the thing I always found about Noel Gate, which is, you know, close to what this is like, you hit the Thunder Dragon. Like, you hit the Thunder Dragon enough games that it's not worth playing Thunder Dragon, at least to me. Okay, so this is some sort of Dimension Fusion thing, but it's playing Reasoning. We're gonna take our duo back. Arguable, I should have gone for Goats, but it doesn't matter anyway. He's about to die. He's not trying to rush it here. The question is, does he leave Goats? And the answer is it doesn't matter because we can blow them all up when we name Beast. So he's leaving them all. Not an issue. Not an issue at all. We'll go Beast. We will then forget that we needed to discard Sook and look like a fool. Not a problem. That's not a problem. It's unfortunate, but it's not a problem. He doesn't have Chaos Engrave because he just used Bazoo. He also didn't have Chaos Engrave in the first place. So BLS is the only thing that could kill us here. Duo sucks a little bit. Besides that, we're fine. Okay. Does he have Karibo in hand? That'd be lovely. Show Karibo or get boned, as the kids say. Survey says... Survey says... Survey says... He died. Alright, this deck seems pretty straightforward. We just want to make sure we have Goats quickly so we don't get run over. I don't think there's much more to say besides that. Horus would be really big here if he could get it. It's going to hit over all of his stuff. And if it negates the spells, then it's going to be a lot easier to avoid dying. There's Goats. There's Horus. There's Cyberstein for summons. We're in a great spot. We actually have the full combo here. Because you can go Cyberstein into King Dragoon and Horus. And that's an untargetable Horus. Or you can hit the Horus immediately. That's great. But since he used the effect there, there's actually some monsters he could summon that immediately kill him. Oh, we really wanted to keep Horus. Let's see. 42 plus 15 plus 7, not enough. We need to snatch Wanghu and make sure he doesn't have an answer. That's all we can really do. We could potentially meta the Wanghu. We can meta the Wanghu for Darkfire. And then that would let us also Cyberstein and summon another monster. His deck has stuff that could hurt us. If we did Cyberstein for Balter, that could work. And that would be a clock of 3 plus, or sorry, it'd be 15 plus 20 plus 7, so that's 42 over 2 turns. 35 over 2 turns is already enough. So at least we deal half the damage now, plus then some. But we wouldn't have a lot of threats afterwards. We lose to a couple things. We can go King Dragoon anyway. I don't hate that plan. We can also just take it slow. But I don't like the idea of taking it slow, because if he manages to just use True Nade on Snatch, we're probably are going to die. So yeah, we're just going to go in. We're here to have a good time. We're here to be splashy. There's Darkfire. Here's Stein. And we're gonna go Balter. That's a clean 42. Duo's kind of brutal. I think we'd just win this game if there was no duo. But this is a good spot. So we have 2 spell negates. His deck seems pretty spell heavy. He doesn't really seem to have a way to get over the Dark Balter. Yes, he does. Okay. Mildly annoying. But we still get to get in for 1,500. And we have goats. And there's Dust Shoot to make sure we're not dying. That's even more not dying. So let's see what's going on in his hand. We're probably actually going to die now. We've used our resources a little too fast. Whoa! Whoa! Okay. We gotta find. We gotta know. We gotta know. Ah! A Giant True Nade, a Chaos Sorcerer, a Fusilier Dragon, and an Air Knight. And we got rid of the Fusilier with the Dust Shoot, so he loses. There's the Exiled Force. Ah, and he drew a meta. Well, that's certainly a lesson in consistency. Don't play 50-card decks, kids. Just play base dragon goat control instead. Easy. Easy peasy. And with that, that is Horus goat control. Deck seems pretty solid. You can get rid of the funny stuff and have a pretty solid goat control anyway. I think people underestimate goat control and how much it can do. Just because turbo exists and because turbo can sack doesn't mean that turbo will always sack, and this deck certainly has tools against turbo's more standard lines. We've been seeing goat control get some success recently, and I think this is a really fun way to play it. So I hope you give it a try. I'll put a deck list link in the description. And until next time, I hope you have a lovely day.